Welcome back, everyone, to the All Sports Network channel. Sixers lost, right? In my opinion, the process it failed. It failed. I feel like just from everything that's happened, although I honestly believe that Daryl Moore probably just wanted to play this year out and see how like first like in person like how well Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can be. Um, Ben Simmons was almost traded. Like he was almost out of there. If the Rockets hadn't ghosted them, a lot of people think it's Philly's fault. No, the team that should be criticized for not getting James Harden is definitely the Heat, because they didn't do it for the potential of Tyler Hero. And look, Tyler Hero is cool. I'm not super high on him, but I'm just not a big fan of him, to be honest with you. But I'm not super low on him either. But you know, um, James Harden's an MVP. So it's like, when do you not trade for an MVP? In my opinion, like when you're a contending team. But that's a video for another day. So yeah, the Sixers. What's the move here? And the thing is though, the move is probably get as many picks as you can, and get you a score. You know, a lot of people I know really like the idea of like a 6'11" point guard and stuff. But in reality, Ben Simmons, he's a power forward or a center. Um, in my opinion, nothing more. Just because of his limitations offensively. Like I personally don't see how you can win a title with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I mean, I guess you could, but that roster would have to be like perfect. Like no Tobias Harris on the max, like that kind of stuff though. So can the Sixers make that happen? Heck no. um, I like Daryl Morey, but I mean, I just don't see how you flip Tobias and you still have the assets to form a championship team and all that though. And Philly isn't like a bad destination though, but like it's probably a lot of phrases like not first choice, just because um, of the cap, restrictions and whatnot though. Also, honestly, like for a team like the Pistons, for example, this would be a huge win. Because it's like because they could get their franchise player, in Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons would definitely not have as much pressure put on him. Or like because the Blazers might make some moves this year, and I hope they do. But even then, though, it's like who you get. You get McCollum or Dame, like if you can. I just say McCollum because he's a little bit more realistic, um, and then older picks or whatever, and that's you gotta get a scoring guard. Because I feel like that will complement Joel Embiid. We saw what Seth Curry and Joel Embiid were doing. And that was Seth Curry. Seth Curry is a good player. He is, but he's not a co-star. He's not an all-star, and that's something that I feel like can be unlocked with the Sixers team, is like the true potential of Joel Embiid, because we saw a lot of moments where he was probably relying on his co-stars to do something, and they just couldn't, even though they should be able to, you know. And the other move, to be honest with you, is do whatever you can. Like you gotta get rid of Tobias, man. Tobias is on the max. He doesn't deserve the max. He's a scorer that's averaged 20 like once or twice in his career. Honestly though, I just don't. I don't really know how much he really makes. I don't know how much winning he affects. Just because like I was thinking about the Clippers versus Warriors. Like 20. I think it was 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019. Uh, I was thinking of that series. The Clippers got two games on the Warriors. And it was a fun series. Like it was tons of fun. Um, I was kind of like, yeah, like Tobias Harris probably doesn't do anything, in that series, and that's a series where there isn't really a star. You probably have more, um, touches and whatnot though, and then it's just hard because he's not a good defender. He's not a positive defender, and scoring wise though, it's like he has the role of a scorer, but it's also like not surprising when he gets like 14 points. And so I there's so many, it's so confusing honestly because it's like I feel like you should be able to give up Tobias Harris, and if you get nothing in return, honestly, I would be okay with that. I know Tobias Harris, he's not bad. He's definitely not bad, but I mean, do whatever you can in my opinion to get off that money. They did it with Al Horford. Um, they can do it with Tobias. Honestly, Tobias is younger. He he could do like Jerome Grant type stuff though. Where he might have a big game here and there, and then he kind of falls off. At least in my opinion, uh, but yeah, just because Tobias Harris is definitely not a championship piece. Ben Simmons, at least as of right now, is not a championship piece, and the thing is though, you got a guy that is though, and that's Joel Embiid. Aside from that, though, there are some other players I think they should re-sign. Like I know Danny Green gets a lot of hate, but if you can get him for like 7 million, like that's actually pretty decent. Definitely get Seth Curry back. Seth Curry is a great role player. One of the best in the league in my opinion. But yeah, and so another thing too that's weird though is that Ben Simmons might not even get moved. Like we might just get another year or two of this, which would be kind of torturing. Like it's kind of for me. I used to really like Dame and CJ, and they're really fun to watch and all that though. But I don't really take an interest in them anymore. At least I have for like the last year or two, just because like it's already obvious what's gonna happen. Nothing against them. It's really just everything, everything around them. Whether that be coaching, management, other players, like literally everyone else except for like Gary Trent. Gary Trent's the one like uh guy that has been on the Portland team, the last few years that have been like that guy's awesome. Like that guy's awesome. Now I don't, yeah, I don't that I see Covington. I question um how good he was in the past, even though it's probably just a situation. I see Norman Powell, and I'm like, could this guy actually get the max? Like, it, and I just don't want that to happen with Philly because I feel like Philly can be. If I feel like Joel Embiid, I feel like him and like McCollum or whatever though they can do some great things. Honestly, um, could those two just flat win you a championship? No, but they can do a lot. Whatever though, it would be better than Ben Simmons, even though Ben Simmons is way more talented, and 6'11" and whatnot though, and better defender. But scoring matters a lot. Joel Embiid. I'm not saying he's a Shaq, but he needs his Kobe basically. Again, I'm not saying Joel Embiid's as good as Shaq, or there are a lot of players out there that are as good as Kobe. In the NBA right now. I'm not. I'm just saying he needs his co-star. They need to have a guard big man duo thing because I feel like that'd be great honestly, and then just three and D players around like that's probably your best chance to win a title right there. And if you can get a third star, like obviously do it. But I know stars get moved quite a bit in the NBA, but at least as of right now, it's like in my opinion, it's like, yeah, get like a, like there aren't really any other stars that you can really. There aren't too many out there you can really pair with Joel Embiid. Um, in my opinion, it's kind of like, yeah, try to get like a McCollum playing at point guard, try to get like a Buddy Hield playing at the two, keep Matisse, have him come off the bench, start Danny Green or whatever though, and then get you a solid like all around four or whatever, just because moves are definitely limited, but and I feel like it's clear you should trade Ben Simmons. So in this situation, it's like, yeah, we're gonna trade Ben Simmons. You're gonna get a lot. Like you're gonna get a crap ton of first round picks, and you'll be able to do a lot with those. I feel like unless they're in the mindset of like they want to draft the next guys or whatever though. But just seeing Joel Embiid's age and whatnot though, I feel like moves should be done now instead of later. Um, so yeah, it's kind of weird that just a year ago people were debating, who to keep, who to keep, or that Ben Simmons is a LeBron, in training or whatever though, because it's obvious he's not. I'm not saying he couldn't be, but it's just that it's probably not going to. I mean, I don't really see Ben Simmons really getting that much better. Me personally, just seeing what he's done and whatnot though. But if he has his own team, he's dropping 20. Everyone thinks he's way better, than he actually is. Averaging 20, I mean, and then the Sixers get called stupid or whatever though. That's my theory. but yeah, so the process is dead. The process is dead. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Somehow it works out or whatever though, but I doubt it. So yeah, it's kind of weird. All those years of tanking and getting picks and Embiid's injuries, and Simmons also missing some time. Like, yeah, no, it's all come down to this, and at the end of it, you might get a few solid players or whatever though, and you know, 4 or 5 draft picks for it and Embiid. So yeah, I'll let Philly fans decide if that was worth it or not. I personally, I don't know. Like that would be a lot of that'd be a lot of research. But yeah, maybe a video to make down the line. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.